In this demonstration, I'm going to show you how we can use FileBound to, or in this case, act as a company vehicle register, checking for vehicle registration expiries in advance and routing them down workflow to make sure that vehicles get renewed, the registration gets renewed before it expires. This is something that I've actually come across in various organisations where registration paperwork gets sent out from the Department of Transport, goes missing, and vehicles can lapse their expiry, which obviously there's a whole bunch of risks associated with that. Very, very simple project to set up, can be configured to take care of this very problem. So the way we kick this off is with a web form, and that is the way that we get the vehicles into the system. So this web form is customizable to whatever your needs are. So here, obviously we need a registration, and obviously we need a registration expiry date. They're the two key fields we need. I've popped department in here just in case you wanted to route this to, a department prior to renewal, just to verify they still want to use the vehicle. We put in the vehicle make and model, any other comments. There's other different options we could have. We could upload documents. If you wanted to upload the current registration or insurance certificates, you could do that. For the sake of this demonstration, I'll submit that. We'll keep it nice and simple. Now, if I do another search on my company vehicle register, we'll see here's my vehicle here that I just entered. Now, what happens in the background on a daily basis, FileBound will check this project, this company vehicle register project, and it'll look for registration expiry dates that are coming. And so we can set that variable to whatever you need. So your company policy might be 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Either way, we set that to look into the future, and when it sees one of these dates that's within that parameter, it will then route it down workflow. So I've got a few here that I've prepared earlier. And so we can see here this is due next month and it needs to be actioned by someone. So even if the Department of Transport's paperwork goes missing, the system's still going to pick it up and route it to a person to action. So once it routes into workflow, the workflow once again being changeable to meet your needs based on your rules. This is just a proof of concept. It's come to the first step where I've got the option to place it on hold. So maybe I need to go and do some prep work or find out information. I can mark it as paid, or I could mark it as inactive, so the vehicle's no longer in the fleet. And I want to retain a historical record of the vehicle in FileBound, but I no longer want the system to be checking and sending it down workflow when the registration's due. So in this case, I've got a dummy registration certificate that I'll upload here. So I've got a record of that. I could rename that if I needed, which in production I normally would. And then we'll update the registration date to when it's due next year, and I'll mark that as paid. So basically that then finishes the workflow as far as this transaction's concerned. It's registered for another year. We've got our registration dates been updated here. So, in whatever that time period be, 9 or 10 months, it will pick up on that and it'll route it back down workflow to make sure that it's processed again next year. And now we can see down here our status is updated to registration paid. So that's that project in a nutshell.